or not. But it's really good to be able to share with you a few thoughts today. I love the old school blackboard as well, and really like the reminder of our theme today. Jesus said, "I have come that they may have life and have it in all its fullness." And that word life means a lot of different things to us, I think. And we all have life, but we describe life in lots of different ways. And in fact, I think people spell life in lots of different ways as well. Some people spell life like this, with a capital I. Now I'm going to one of my niece's first Holy Communions tomorrow. I've got 3 nieces up in Boston Spa, and the first words most of them learned was my and I. That's mine, that's my toy, that's my biscuit, that's my packet of crisps. I don't know what the first words Gabriella will be saying. It's mine, yeah. So my nieces aren't unlike any other children, but that thing is mine. And that's so important to those children. They possess something. But often we can go through life spelling life like that with a capital I. That I am the most important thing in my world. And everything else kind of revolves around me. Or I have that aim. I have that purpose. And woe betide anybody who gets in my way, I'm going to achieve that. Sometimes to spell life like that with a capital I. And other people spell life like this with a capital I-F. If only. It's amazing how many candles get lit in Hope University Chapel during exam time. If only I pass that exam, I'll be morning prayer every day, I'll be mass every week. So many bargains being met, so many bargains being made with God. If only there is a God, then I'll do all these things. If there is a God, well, why doesn't he just prove it to me? Wouldn't that just make life so much easier if there is a God there? He can just prove that to me and then life would just be simple. If I go out with that girl, well, I'll believe in God. We make all sorts of bargains in our life. And so we can go through life spelling life just with a capital I-F. And other people spell life with a capital L. Well, we're all learners, aren't we? No one's perfect. And we live life sort of the lowest common denominator. And one of the great things I remember Pope John Paul II saying to us all was not to live a life of mediocrity, but a life with full purpose. So living life that isn't just about thinking we're just learners, as if everything else is just in the future. Because the fullness of life is right here. The fullness of life is now. Eternal life is what it is now. It's not something beyond us. This is it. So in the Mass later we're crying out, "Holy, holy, holy." That's our eternal life. We're joining with the angels and the saints and the chorus and those who have gone before us. So we're not just learners. Eternal life is now. And some people spell life like this, with a capital L-I-E. Sadly, a lot of people live life with all sorts of lies. You're only worthless. You can't do that. You've got to look in a particular way to be accepted. We live lives. I mean, Facebook is fantastic. But one of the downsides of it is that everybody puts on Facebook the things that are wonderful and great. And there's almost a competition to say, well, my life is like this. As we live almost like a pseudo life on Facebook, I've been here, and I've done this, and I've been there, and we're projecting a life that is some reality, but a lot of it is a lie as well. People never put on Facebook the things that are really, really troubling them that day. The holiday photos that go on Facebook are full of everybody smiling, happy. It's a bit of a distortion, if not a lie. A lot of the girls, certainly at home, when they get ready for a night out, I'm sort of walking in as they're coming out, and we have different times of the day. They say to me, Stephen, beauty is pain. Beauty is pain. As for high heels, they're clipping over the zebra crossing. You know, it's not real life. It's sort of, I'm projecting a particular sort of image. Or the lies could be, well, just smoke it. Everybody does. Or it could be that inner voice that says, don't worry, watch it. Everybody else does. Try it. It won't do you any harm. We can live life with lies. But Christians are not very good spellers, and they spell life like this. Just one word. And that's how we begin our day. With, yes, all the confusions in our lives, all the distortions, all the difficulties, but with one name in our hearts, one name in our lives, and that name is Jesus. And we have to say a few words just about the first goal of youth ministry. I don't know if the first goal was anywhere. Was it before? Have you seen the first goal? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's because all the four speakers are going to say something about each of the four goals. So the first one is, youth ministry fosters the complete and personal and spiritual growth of each young person, acknowledging the specific needs of young people in our society. And as Paul was saying before, my role at Hope is a bit unique really, because I couldn't coordinate the chaplaincy team. We're all great and wonderful, and from different denominations. And I also look after all the students who live in all our halls of residence. So that's about 15 halls of residence on 3 different campuses. That's about 800 students. You know, my role is to have the pastoral care of those students. So goal A actually really applies to me a lot, because in my former roles, B, C and D were kind of more of my focus, and B is about discipleship, C is about young people in the church, D is about young people being prophetic witnesses. But A is actually what I'm doing far more now, just the very stuff of life and the very stuff that students come with. And I'll say a few words about that, just to share with you how I see myself in that kind of arena. Most of you students, or have been students recently, so this should be very familiar. But it's really interesting working with young people who we might call generation rent. You know, life has changed a lot. In past generations, people would have got a job, got a house, settled down. That is now all turned on its head. And so people now living with parents till they're 35, or trying to rent somewhere. It's too hard maybe to buy a house. And so people's lives are kind of very transitory. I'm going to get a degree, but I don't know really what that means. Because when I leave, I don't know what I'm going to do. And what jobs are out there anyway. So I'll do an MA as well and do something else. So people's lives kind of extended. Some of the situations that come my way, I could write a book after my first year of working at Hope. All sorts of things have happened. Yeah, Helen, one of our senior resident tutors over there, so we write a joint book, Helen. All sorts of situations that will be common to you. And I find that when people come with a particular situation, there are layers of situation, layers of problems. So someone might come because they've fallen out with their flatmates. But these flats at home, some residents, 6 people live together, and they're like little pressure cookers. Because it's just small enough, if one person falls out with another, then everybody else is affected. And so a lot of my time is spent mediating in flats to try and work out. Now the easy answer would be, well, let's just move people. Move you over there, move you over there, move you over there. What I'm trying to do is trying to say, well, where is forgiveness here? Where is there a little bit of generosity? And where can we accept each other's weaknesses? So as a kind of priest stepping into the situation and trying to step in with some of our Christian values, the easy thing would be just to separate people and solve the problem that way. And often dealing with moments of crisis and trauma. So a few weeks ago, I got a phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning from one of our tutors, very distressed on the phone to say, this particular girl, we'll call her Sandra. Sandra's just put on Facebook that she's about to commit suicide. Okay? He said, I've gone along to see her, I'll let you know, it's going to be around 2 minutes, so my house is literally 2 minutes away. Got the ambulance had arrived by this stage. Girls in the back of the ambulance with the tutor. He knows her quite well, I don't know her that well. And so ambulance said, right, the ambulance and said, we're going to take her into the Royal Hospital. Fine. So I go in my car to the Royal and the ambulance arrives. The resident tutor waits outside the entrance area for me. I arrive in my black shirt and collar and black trousers, and he's there in his Spider-Man pyjamas. And we both walk in to A&E together. And I'm quite relaxed about it. He's quite relaxed, he seems to be in a collar, I don't see him in his Spider-Man pyjamas. But because we know each other so well, it's kind of just easy. But you can see these like people looking at us and trying to work out why this priest is with this young man who's wearing Spider-Man pyjamas. And I just was thinking about it later and thinking, well, actually, isn't that what the church is about? You know, just being in this situation and try to kind of be not more than a presence, an active presence there. And thankfully, the girl was okay, and we stayed with her for a number of hours. And next day, you know, she was a lot better, and in fact went back to lectures the next day. So, youth ministry fosters the complete personal and spiritual growth of each young person, acknowledging the specific needs of young people in our society. I could name a lot of those needs, but you know them anyway, because you're living with the same needs there. So my little role at Hope University is trying to actually just grapple with some of that human needs of students and young people and adults, young adults. And that can involve all sorts of different things. It can involve rape and sexual assault, it can involve love triangles, it can involve low self-esteem and confidence issues, it can involve alcohol issues, finance problems, all the stuff of life. But the important thing, I think, for me, is to try and bring that fullness of life. And that means the church, in some way, stepping into the specific problems that young people are facing and saying very simply, the church cares for you, the church loves you, even though you may not know Christ. The church loves you, the church is here for you, the church will walk alongside you. It's been more than 10 minutes, but the fullness of life. So thanks so much, everybody. It's good to be here today.